que ya saben que no es tan bueno lo que está pasando por allí. Y bueno, nada. Que queda en total unos 57 minutos. Estaré esperándolo jugando. Después de eso, en unos días, ya saben, voy a grabar Diplo. No sé, nada más de esto. Pero bueno. En unos días, como ya ven, 30 de junio, o sea, en 2 días también es un directo de Diplo. O sea, esto. Lo que tuvimos hace unos días, solo que no lo tuve. O sea, no lo hice tan rápido. Hello. Vamos. Acá. En serio, mejor juego solitario. Pero bueno. No. No. Mira. Que puede hacer el baile de aquí, pero que La, 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 la. Welcome to the flotilla. En your propia flotilla. Con... Ahí está océano. Genial. ¡Ya! ¿Qué? ¿Ahora océano? Ay, chicos, para que no les pase esto, regla número 1, nunca maten a un jefe con una escopeta. Puede que sea con la de conde, pero nunca usen algo como la táctica o la de carga. Eso va a hacer que, como las armas del jefe sean más rápidas, quitan más daño, hacen fi y te arruinan todo, seguro. Se los digo porque ya me pasa. Usted dice que quiero matar a un jefe a scope y me pasa eso. What the fuck. Ay, que me... No. Segundo intento. La flotilla. Busquemos opciones solo para avistar o para matarla. También les digo que con una pistola ya pueden matarlo, solo que le tienen que dar un perfil. ¿Qué? Ay, Dios santo, hubiera usado. Pero soy yo los secuaces son hackers. Por favor. Secuaces, hackers. Secuaces, hackers. Secuaces, Dios, ¿cuánto queda para eso? Ah, bueno, queda un montón todavía. Muchísimos minutos. Veamos. Empezamos con Rincón. Una ubicación donde hay más secuaces hackers, pero bueno, es lo que hay. Si vieron, son medio... Tengo que recargar el Yufu. Es muy arriesgado. ¡A la cabeza! Ay, Dios, fue también mala idea hacer esto. Mala idea todo. Chau, jodas usted. Para casa. Vamos los minis, la potigarda y busco al otro. Sí, por acá está Kit. Kit está bajo llama. Tenemos que salvarlo. Ay, bueno, el fuego ya me está haciendo pushes. ¡Ay! No tengo balas de nada. Tengo que matar al secuá y secuestrármelo. Yo secuá, perdón que me miren todos así, pero no tengo balas de nada. Tengo que buscar esa scope. No tengo balas. Solo tengo balas de esto. Las pierdo y estoy perdido. Ay, Dios. Lo voy a rematar a pico porque ya sé que hagan las balas. Hay balitas, sí. Y ahora voy a lo de aquí. Otro cejo jodido. Lo matamos. Me llevo todo. Sabonga. Más balas de todo. Ser sinceros. Más cosas. Vamos, balas de cosa. Y bueno, lo que necesitaba. Ya mejor que cuando comencé, que iba re mal. Por la culpa de los secuaces que estaban jodiendo. Que esto, que lo otro, que lo otro. A ver. Bueno, mejor me voy a la linda bóveda. Listo. Bueno, no lo quiero. Lo peor que me pudo tocar una drop en rincón rencoroso. Lo peor que me pudo tocar. Por favor. ¿Por qué puras scopes? No, ¿para qué viene la boya si me toca? De scope a scope a scope. Uf, pero no los quiero. Dios. Como esto y me tuvo los minis. Bye bye marcadores. Hay que puedo hacer toda alberga. Ah, hola vos. Ay, el otro ese no es bot, el de allá arriba. No, ese me arruinó todo. Tenemos que rusharme. Pónganlo en los comentarios si me quieren rush. ¡No! ¡Corre! ¡Corre! Corre. Escape perfecto. Escape inseguramente. No. Este escape está siendo pésimo. Vos que corres como si nada. Ay, necesito ya curarme. No. ¡Corre! Corre. No el árbol esta vez. Corre, no me de aquí, me tengo que ir. No de vida. Dios santo, me fui más lejos de la zona, pero bueno. Voy a pescar un poco, si es que me quedé campeando pesca. Queda re poca vida. Y ahora me toca táctica cuando no la quiero. No, corre a la chopa. Y ahora una no me deja en paz. Ay, Dios. Ay, Dios. Mira, tarado. ¿En serio? ¿Dónde tengo ese Yupi? Yupi, ¿dónde estás? Acá, Yupi. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde? Ay Dios, pierdo puntos cuando ni los tendría que perder. Al Authority. Arma el bugueo de acá. Esto me lo llevo en caso de emergencia. Salta, salta, que me matará. Que me matará. Ay, Dios. Me está jodiendo. Ay, que me dejen de joder. Dios. 26. Bueno chicos, queda un montón. 92. No sé Dios lo que voy a meter. Left on, left on, la 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 left on, left on, left on, left on.
¿Te abandonas?
Ay, no. Estoy en directo. Perdóname.
Ah, ok, no importa.
Voy a tratar de matar a Jules a pistola. Y granadas.
La granada que te ponerle más.
Listo. Maté una que tenía copas que le llevo. Y esa mató un secuaz que tenía P90. Chao pistolas. Hola scope. Chao skin. Hola disfraz. Vamos, tengo el bugueo del disfraz. Listo. Ay Dios. No me busco esas balas porque ya veo que me quedo sin balas y me muero. Por ahí hay un cofre mágico. Ya matan a Azul, ¿qué me importa matarla? Busco el cofre mágico que escuché y se acabó. Ya ni idea de dónde está. Oh.
Me anda a 1, 2 FPS.
Ahí eso es una mala señal.
Me anda ahora como a 190. Que mi máximo es 120. 14 FPS para mi cosa es bajo. Y 260 ms.
Uy, cofre mágico.
Mira, me cargo la partida.
Ay, P90, me está jodiendo.
0,79 pesos. Y 1260.
Y la única que acá tiene el arma mítica, como siempre, se escapa de la autoridad. Que tiene la...
Te escucho.
Me daría pasar
Recién ahora
por...
empecé a ver, pero voy 0,50 FPS.
Ay, Dios, es súper bajo.
0,17 FPS.
Bueno, ya veo que rifle de caza...
FPS.
Mm.
Por fin. 38 FPS.
Necesito una buena scope y mi loot estaría bien. Una mejor scope, porque mira mi loot. Tengo gente por todas partes. ¿Qué hago? ¿Matar al del arbusto? ¿Cómo todos me dan los tiros en el arbusto? ¿Qué? Son unos hackers, mira por dónde me pegan. Me pegan aunque yo no esté... Nada.
Exagerado.
Sí, en serio. Me pegan cuando no me tendrían que pegar. Está en el arbusto y me pegan. Ay,
Esta es una distancia que se puede ver.
ay, esto dentro del arbusto, así que...
Dale, listo.
Se me está cargando. ¿Cuándo podemos...?
Preso de agua.
Ay, eso es con la auténtica y yo no la tengo. Bien, digo. Necesito la autenticación para jugarla. I haven't got de autenticación. A ver, vamos a borrar unos cuantos videos, chiquis. Vamos a borrar videos que yo no pude hacer por cosas que no pude. Este está en directo, así que lo dejamos. Mira. Eliminar definitivamente. Esperando. Esto lo vamos a eliminar, lo vamos a eliminar, lo vamos a eliminar, eliminar. Ah, bueno, tengo 1 millón de jugando. Últimos vídeos del día. Próximamente. Esto es por mal wifi. Tengo 1 millón de videos. Veamos si todo esto lo vamos a borrar. Definitivamente.
¡Alto la!
Eliminar definitivamente. Feo. No.
The Authority.
Authority.
Exagerado porque te matan en los arbustos.
Sí, era imposible que me vean. ¿Qué pensás?
Ay no, imposible que esté en la otra punta del arbusto.
Después podemos jugar fiesta magistral, ya que mi video es de esperando el costo
Me
de...
va a andar peor que la bosta.
Es fiesta magistral, no es modo creativo, perdón.
Bueno, me dan 900 de pizza ahora mismo.
Yo puedo andar mejor. Pero cuando sean las 50 por ahí. Comienza.
Ay, no, man.
Y después voy a probar una configuración de
Ay, yo
sonido.
no se chorea mi viejo.
Hola, güey.
Ese
Joder.
es el
¿Qué saquen? ¡Por la espalda! Perdón. Después voy a probar esto de sonido licenciado. Sonido licenciado. Reproducir, sería eso. Reproducir, o sea, jugadores. Silenciarlo. 31 64. Si quieren que los saluden en el próximo video, pongan un comentario. Decirme cosas.
Eso en el chat por...
Antitrust. No. Yo soy re bueno haciendo perfectamente con este baile. Hazlo, yo te lo hago. ¡Ya! 20 ok. Pero que...
Yo voy a caer en soto solitario.
Espera. Creaste tu canal el 25 de diciembre de 2017 y no hiciste nada. ¿En serio creaste hace años tu canal y no le pusiste nothing? Y recién lo pones hace 11 meses. Yo también lo hice hace meses a mi primer video. Hice cerca de los 2019 por ahí. Cuando termina septiembre algo.
Prefiero más esta que esta.
Yo prefiero más ese sufu gris. Porque algo necesito para empezar, como una poti gorda tirada. Bueno, también nos pongamos... ¡Ay, qué mala es esta arma! Sí, bueno. Estamos empezando, no es que nos encontramos un cofre mágico siempre y chau.
Me canto el gancho y deja de ponerle el audio tan fuerte el micrófono.
No lo puedo confiar a eso, pero... ¡Ayuda! ¡Está un toque! ¡Mata la rifle! Oh. Y te quedas cambiando haciendo una pavada. ¡Oye, anda! ¡Que se va a tomar un boti! ¡Un bote! No. Eso es por rematar a mi compa. Bueno, rematarme.
Voy a tomarme esto porque si no este lugar es peligroso.
No, espérame.
Ups. Te reiniciaré porque tengo 1000 de ping.
¡Mel de ping! No. Decís que tenés 1000 de ping y que eres el mejor Lu.
Es mentira, no tengo 1000 de ping. Me canto el gancho, please.
Me canto la camioneta manejar y llevármela para Harley Quinn World. Y tengo el bugueo. 210 de P. Primero ayuda, no me deja agarrar nada. Tengo que romper el cofre para que me den el loot. Ah, no, ya estoy. Bien. Me canto la trop XD.
Vos te vas a quedar la asociación.
Ah, entonces me canto el craft. Acá está seguro.
¿Qué? ¿Estás cantando, Jule?
Jule. Jules, jefa ingeniera. Respetala.
Jule. A mí me tocó otro poti. Me tocó pistolita verde. Pistolita morada.
Jules, jefa ingeniera. ¿Dónde está? Bueno, nos vamos yendo a fiesta magistral. No, miento. Yo ya estoy a 2.
Está acá.
Seguro, porque acá no la encontré. Ah, está ahí. Chau, Jules. Hola, Sufu. ¡Ey! Pero la tarjeta es mía. Yo tengo más vida. Dame estos minis. Dame los minis. Listo. Esta poti también es mía. Llévate ese bote.
Ya tengo 3.
Bien. No sé, me encanta esa lanza. Ah, ¿recordás cuando volvieron las lanceras después que las hayan eliminado? Ay Dios, ¿cómo habían eliminado las lanceras? Era un millón de cosas, con solo tenían eliminado un montón.
Para romper esta pared, que molesta. Mátense cojo.
Me canto el ladrón, me canto la boya, me canto todo.
No, yo me canto el ladrón.
Y yo me canto la mayoría de cosas. Pero rompiste mi cofre. No me vaya a quedar con solo un cofre yo. Me voy a quedar con este franco. Total tenés el...
Yo no tengo balas de rifle.
Borraste la cara. Listo. La próxima ráfaga mítica es mía. La scope es tuya, la scope es tuya. No, te voy a dar el susto cuando encuentre la scope y me voy a quedar las famas. Vos te vas a quedar... No, esperen, planes equivocados. Chau, secuaz ha sido eliminado de la existencia. Yo me iría a otra parte. Me iría para la tortilla.
Con el puta.
No digas eso. Pero... Please, pero no digas eso. No digas las minis. A ver.
Amigo, odio este juego.
Y bueno, el pin es tu wifi.
Y me cae que otra vez por el choto.
Es tu wifi, ¿no?
No. ¿Qué? ¡Se me puso solo! Ay, no, odio este juego.
Ah, o sea, querrías desinstalar el Fortnite para perder todo.
No, quería que este juego internet.
El problema es que tiene que ser con internet para jugar online. ¿Qué pasó?
Salté la del team y no me cogió.
Dios. No era la tortilla.
No, este juego por el pin.
Chicos, se aproxima el desafío de las 7. Tal vez lo suba esta vez, si es que no lo completo. Ahí si reinicia el Fortnite. Ay, Ana Poti, yo me voy a ir a buscar el Rafa, así es que todavía sigue el que lo tiene allá.
Anda a buscar el gancho.
¡Ay, cierto! Decí que todavía no me desmarco dónde está. Pues sí. De sí, lo mismo te veo el nombre. Todavía me toma que está y que te estás moviendo, pero no me toma que está.
Cerra el Fortnite.
O sea, tú estás en una esquinita y vos te estás yendo aburrido. Lo único que quiero es tu Scar y tu Ángel. No encuentro la Ángel. La Scar. La Scar. Bueno, me voy a buscar el Rafa mejor, es ritmo mítico. Ay, en serio, me trabo contra el tronco. A ver, a las easy. Después de esta partida lo más probable es que me vaya para fiestita. Voy a tratar de aprovecharlo más rápido. Pero... ¡No me dejo poner la lanza! ¡Qué maldad! Y a este lo expulso. A ver, yendo a fiestita. Fiestita magistral. No. Voy a estar en magistral, como la ven. Ordenadamente. Sí, eso ahorita los objetos siempre les pegaban y te arruinaban con los gestos. Ah, esta es la música. Todavía no debe haber comenzado cuando se las hago. Ven que no se puede hacer vale, estoy tocando la lechita para hacer vale, en mi caso que sí. No me deja hacer esto. No hay nada, ven, vehículos que acá habría. Nada. Listo, esperando el con. Bueno, más las entrevistas. Este es el idioma en fiesta magistral con desconocidos. El chat rápido. ¿Cuánto quedan? 10 minutos. Voy a cambiar la skin para ponerme otra que quede más con el evento.
Ah, la gran pantalla yo creía que era el escenario.
Ay, a ver, esto me lo voy a dejar en el segundo estilo. Si me lo guardo así. Sí. Guardar y esto lo ponemos acá por el calle. Esto cargar y esto debe ser completar.
Porque yo ya nos juntamos, nos quedamos al ladito.
Me voy a poner otra ropa. Esto lo tendrían que meter en Fortnite. Pero bueno, sería que se me había rehuido todo. A ver, ¿qué skin es la más? No voy a decir que tengo. Veamos.
¿Nada más qué?
Negra. Así queda con el evento. Yo diría esta por el momento, pero no me quiero poner esta. Ya, desgastado a nivel 100, que lo único que se... Voy a poner esto. Ay, esta me quiere buguear o qué. Ah, cierto, querría hacer baile en tirolesa, pero no se puede. La última vez estaban re... La última vez estaban re jodiendo bailando, por eso se gritaron todos, de vehículos, todo. Pero no te pongas esa skin, trata de ponerte otra que no sea tan DJ. Porque ya sabes que los DJ debería para Diplo. Choque instantáneo. Puedo ver un poco el escenario principal. Bueno, hasta que termine esto me voy a completar esto. Creo controlar los 9 necesito. Uno completado. Segundo completado. Ah, no, no me voy a ir hasta allá. Ahí va. Sí, mucho mejor. Una carrera.
Vení conmigo, nos quedemos acá al ladito.
Y yo soy el líder supremo. Aunque te digo, puede que te aburra un poco. También te digo.
Vení.
Van a estar hablando todos.
Vení, porque yo...
No hables por el evento. Espera, quiero ver si esta música desaparece cuando me ponga esta configuración. Sigue. Porque me puse una configuración que es de creador de contenido que sonidos silencios como que silencias todo para no tener copyright. Pero bueno. Ya, me lo voy a quitar. Y también no es que soy el más popular de todo YouTube, pero bueno. Los más populares tienen más de 100 millones de suscriptores. Audífonos 3D, sí. Música 100, diálogos 100, esto. Ay, no sé, pero me dan ganas de bailar en la tirolesa como lo hice por última vez, pero lo deshabilitaron porque muchos van a hacer bailes, van a interrumpir los objetos, todos les tiran a las personas y arruinan todo el concierto. Eso me pasó en la anterior. Ay, ahora me dan ganas de hacer impetu. No. ¿Ya estos qué son? La Crystal y el Brondo. Hola, tipos. Quiero que me hagan... Basta. Basta.
Este no es el Bronto.
Oh, ya lo sé. Es un cine skin. Soy yo. El sonido termina, ¿vos lo escuchas? No. El T-Rex, como quieras. Trata de ponerte mucho el DJ. Todos nos ponemos.
Ay, ojalá estuviera solo para hacer estos bailes.
Show starts in 4 minutos. No se escucha nada. Con lo que sí puedo jugar son los a la delta. Yo diría que no se pueda pasar por el pantalla tipo una barrera. Soy yo, te quedas ahí como... ¿Pero vos estás en la máquina, sí o no?
Sí.
Me metí en la máquina con vos. No, salí de la máquina y no vio a nadie, te lo juro. Te pusiste en la laguna. Si te pones en la laguna te vas más lejos, ¿eh? Ay, recuerdo cuando me metieron fiestas campales, esa fiesta magistral.
¿Qué?
Ahora solo entro para los conciertos. Lo que cajo. ¿Alguna vez probaste Windows XP, la papa? Yo sí. Casi nada de tiempo, pero sí. Nothing XP. Silbiendo. Capítulo 1 de otra cuenta alternativa. Capítulo 1, silbidos. Aunque no silbo también. Hasta que hace mucho ni sabía silbar, te digo. ¿Qué? Tiene la tiro. ¿Qué? Hizo el bug. Eso en partidas públicas puede destruir todo, menos lo indestructible que no se puede destruir, pero puede destruir todo como toda la autoridad. Después tratamos de hacer ese bug y lo hacemos en laboratorio y estudiamos todo en la autoridad. Rápido. Imagínate. Porque para que no te baneen solo caso en partidas privadas o en esto.
Ya estoy con alguien.
Aunque el bug te puede arruinar la experiencia. Estás bugueado. Por favor, vamos a tener que hacer unos cambios en tu cuenta. Sin alitas, sin nada de esto. Impetu. No sé, pero me quiero poner esas alas, recordarlas, porque, o sea, antes siempre me las... ¿Viste que yo cuando consigo cosas nuevas después no las uso más?
¡Ey, hay un potasio verde! Y 2 potasios playeros.
Oh. Yo soy la caballera... Soy la caballera luminosa. Ay, estas alas no las uso hacer mucho.
¿Puedes estar acá con...
¡Soy un pájaro! Y ahí se pone en tu cara.
Lo 1, añadir.
Tiene la skin de temporada 6, nivel 100.
Sí, el lobo 1.
Aunque, o sea, en el primer estilo estaba re malo para ser nivel 100, pero los otros estilos estaban bien. Eso es cierto.
Listo, ya lo tengo de amigo. El que está ahí.
Con razón agregas a cualquiera. Es de Play, lo podría agregar de PlayStation Network. También te digo.
No,
Que lo puedo agregar. Acá está el logo 1. Agregar amigo de PlayStation Network. ¿Qué te digo? ¿Viste el Ezequiel? Para mí juega desde temporada 1, pero te digo por qué no es tan pro. Te digo por qué el Eze puede que juegue de temporada 1, pero no es tan pro. Te digo por qué. Te digo por qué. Pero te digo porque se le cerró PlayStation Network y porque no jugaba mucho al Fortnite. Y no se compraba nada, ¿entendés? Me parece que era así. Y ahora espera que salga alguna cara o un cuarto. Con algo parecido a un... bla bla bla. Esperen, quiero ver algo antes que nada. No, esto no es licenciado. Me parece que esto no es licenciado.
Hey everybody, I'm Carrie Champion. Welcome to We the People. So today we are having a very candid conversation with athletes and artists who want to make sure that you use your voice to vote.
Bumbe. Estaba antes.
So we have so many different issues that have happened in this country. It's really, truly unprecedented time. So I'm looking forward to these conversations. I think you'll be educated as well as entertained. Most importantly informed. We have morethanvote.org, whenweallvote.org, and fairfight.com. Those resources are imperative as we try to change our future.
Música hip hop.
Yeah, there's no way that we can talk about hip hop
Amigo,
or even the fact that we want
trae
to
puto
black
que...
voter suppression without bringing in this guy straight from Port Arthur, Texas. We were talking about Bumby. He is an activist, a scholar, and an all-around gentleman. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. It's fun. I don't start heavy, but I guess I have to.
Ese está en el capítulo anterior.
It's heavy as hell. And when you think about what needs to happen in this country in terms of change, what's the first thing that you think of?
Equality. That's pretty much the first thing that comes to mind, right? Black people need to be seen as equals in this world. You know, we had to fight just to be recognized as a full citizen in this country and not 3/5.
The world is now seeing what we've known for so long in the culture and in the community. The one way that we can fight is obviously voting. Talk to me about what voting means to you.
I hear people all the time talking about one vote doesn't matter and that voting doesn't make a difference. If that's true, why do they work so hard to suppress the black vote? Because they understand the power of the vote. And so it's time that black people collectively also understand the power of their vote. And not just on the national level, because a lot of times we only have this conversation every 4 years. People need to be very much involved in their local politics. They need to understand who their elected officials are, where they stand on issues that affect you. You need to use your vote to either support the ones that care about you and your condition, or to elect people who do. A newer initiative that we're dealing with is educating felons, right? So in the state of Texas, if you're a felon, right, if you've been to jail or to prison, but you're no longer on probation or parole, you have the right to register to vote. Another thing that was just brought to my attention is there's an initiative called Orange, which is happening not just in Houston, but all over the country. If you're in jail currently, during pre-trial, but you have not been convicted, you're still in jail waiting.
Soy yo, ahí tiene la placa de youtuber.
You are still eligible to vote.
And you said so key. They work so hard to hold that we
Pero no es.
more importantly to suppress the black vote.
De lo que
This message that we're trying to send today about how important voting is. What type of images would you like are people to understand and see when they go to these polls and vote and they cast their ballots?
I think the images that we've all seen, you know what I'm saying, for decades in this country, if not centuries in this country, we've seen black people oppressed, we've seen black people attacked. So every time you look back and you see those old black and
Pero
white
que dejen de
images
joder los de
of
los
people of color being
planes.
attacked by dogs and people of color being sprayed with
Grupo
bullets, that's what they were fighting
avanzando
for. Back
30
then, they were just
metros.
fighting for a chance
Desplázame
to
con
vote.
30.
People like Martin Luther King Jr., people like Malcolm X, these people died to help us be in the position to have the power
Yo creo que la
to be able to cast a vote and make a decision about the people that have controls over our lives. So, I mean, if you in your own community need a reason to vote, look at a person like George Floyd. If the people in your city are not open to police reform, are not open to having a conversation about defunding the police, are not open to issues concerning economic equality, judicial equality, and racial equality, right? If they're scared to say Black Lives Matter, you have the power to put people in those positions who do believe that Black Lives Matter, who do believe in racial equality, economic equality, judicial equality, right? Who see us as human beings. And if the people in your community don't feel that way, vote them out. It's that simple. You just vote them out. We don't have enough time to sit around and hope that people change their mind.
Yeah, but you point out something so important. We have the power, and that is in our vote, and that is with our voice, and that's how we use our voice. I think where we are right now, people say this is a particular moment, but it is a movement, not just a moment, it is a movement. Why, in your opinion, was it George Floyd's death? Why was that chosen brutality for people to say, oh my God, black people are still oppressed in this country, and it is not fair?
I think it's twofold, Carrie. So many different encounters between people of color and police simply what happened in the interaction. And so what happens in a court of law, it tends to lean towards the policeman's point of view, right? In this case, we saw very clearly what happened. I think the other thing is due to the fact that everyone was at home, basically, during this time period in relation to the coronavirus, you couldn't avoid it.
Tengo lo que es la foto donde está la chica, digo que es la foto. En realidad es un espejo. Esa logo es una lámpara.
That's so well said, because if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't worth it, and he didn't have to lose his life. I think that we brought up to talk about,
No.
and that is now funding the lease. That has been such a huge conversation. There's so many misconceptions around funding and dismantling. If you will, educate the audience.
All right, so most people, when they hear the term defund the police, they tend to think of, oh, they're going to take away our police department. Nothing could be further from the point. Defunding the police means that in certain communities, even in Houston, take for example, we have over $1 billion allocated to our police force. Now, what is that being used for? Some of that money is allocated towards riot, pepper spray, right? That kind of thing. That's only used against the people that fund this budget, right? So why would the people want to supply the police with the means to oppress them? If the police are concerned about the situations in certain communities with a higher crime rate, well, higher crime rates tend to happen in communities where there's not employment opportunities, right? There's not a lot of social services, and people are going to do what they need to do to take care of themselves and their families. When the community has more opportunities for employment, more opportunities for upward mobility, then they tend to be less of a strain on the government. They tend to have a lower crime rate, and because of that, we'll have less need for the police in those communities.
You are passionate about so many different things in terms of making sure that we are holding our leaders accountable. Talk about some of the other projects that you're working on.
Well, right now, obviously, being a part of More Than a Vote is essential. We're dealing with primaries in this country right now. And we just want to educate people. We want to inform people because people are tired, they're angry, they're concerned, and they want information and they want action. And so we want to make sure that we give them the right information and lead them in the right direction. And we thank the people that do not look like us for standing with us right now, because it's very important that people who aren't black be involved. Because if black people had gotten rid of racism, we would have done that 100 years ago. And so I'm trying to use my voice and my platform just to let people know that if they feel like I do, there's a number of places they can go to enact change in their community. People need to know about how their city council runs. They need to know that they have the ability to speak when city council meets, to let them know that that's not the way that they feel their city needs to be run. Those are not the places that they feel the money in their community needs to be allocated.
And but be even a step further, they can run for office in their local community. They can run for positions. Like people act like they can leave it up to somebody else. If you're upset, it's not hard to get on the school board. It's not hard to be a part of the city council. It really isn't. And depending on how small your town is, you can be a mayor. It's the power is with the people, and we need to just know that that's happening.
Absolutely. And it's always been with the people. You know, if you look at Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, right? She felt that there was a system of racism and a system of oppression that led to her son's death. And so what did she do? She ran for city council and she was elected city council. Our own former president, 44, Barack Obama, right? Started in the community as an activist, ran for an elected position, became senator, ran for another elected position, and became president of the United States. So don't think that you can't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of power. Your voice is enough to make a difference.
Amen. I feel like I need to go out and run for something. You gave me a rousing speech there, sir. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this. When I talk to my brothers, I have to ask you, as a black man, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I have a very strong relationship with God, so prayer definitely works for me. I have children and grandchildren who are watching me, who are encouraged by what I do, and they're proud of me right now, you know, and that's really what matters, you know. The change starts at home, you know, so as long as you have a support system that believes in what you're doing and supports you in what you're doing, you have everything you need to go out there and fight the good fight. And for those that don't, there's a community of people here to help you. So you can go to places like morethanavote.org. There are many different places that will encourage you, inform you, and they will put you with groups of people that feel like you, that are ready to take action. So no one has to go about this alone if they want to do it.
Yeah, we're stronger together. People have been saying it, but that has much more meaning now that we are in our movement, not just this moment. Bundy, it has been an education, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep fighting the good fight.
Keep up a good fight.
Yeah, la la.
So our next guest, I have to admit, I'm a fan, but there are so many different people that we can talk to. I thought it was so imperative that we speak with her. You know her as Molly on the huge, successful show Insecure, HBO's Insecure. She also has a comedy special highlighting her Nigerian roots, and she's an amazing podcaster. Let's welcome in Yvonne Orji, everyone. You have such a beautiful way of making things funny, giving us our medicine and some candy, right? The humor and the healing. You bring all of that to your space. And right now, as you look across this country and how everyone is so broken and so upset, if it's not social injustice, it's the pandemic, it's depression, it's unemployment, the list goes on and on. How are you doing, quite frankly?
You know, I'm rediscovering self in a way that is hard, but necessary. That will lead to ultimate joy. I know it sounds like a lot, but no, I think I personally think that God put all of us on a global timeout. Like we just, America hasn't done as good as other people when it comes to timeouts because everyone else is out playing at recess, and we're looking to the principal's office, hoping and wishing he can come out. But I think that if we settle into the timeout and really learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn from this season, I think we'll emerge better. We'll learn how to play well with others in more ways than one. And so personally for me, I'm taking this time to learn me in a new way. I feel like I'm being ushered into a new season and I'm getting still. Because sometimes the busy confounds the work that we're supposed to actually be doing. We're busy doing other stuff, but we got work that we need to do on the inside. And I'm leaning into it. I'm like, dang, I thought I was gonna be able to rest like everybody else. And God's like, nah, we got work to do.
You know what? And I think that's what everybody is saying about 2020. It's demanding that we be better. And you said it's a global timeout. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's like everyone sit down, be humble, to quote the great prophet Kendrick Lamar. But no, seriously, sit down and let's reevaluate some things. Let us unearth and shake up the things that we have been trying to hide within ourselves and our nation. I think America is going through an unraveling right now, a much needed, a much necessary one, and I think all eyes on us, right? There is no, I was on the subway for an hour, so I didn't miss that thing that happened. No, everybody was home. everybody, was watching when George Floyd died, and everybody, no one could hide it. Everyone was watching when Amy Cooper called the cops. Like, this is a time where it's like, oh, we can't pretend it away. We can't excuse it away. No, 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 no. It's a global timeout. Sit down, watch, and let's learn. And globally, it's like, hey, we were going business as usual, but it ain't usual no more. Like that's old. Anytime change occurs, it's very uncomfortable. And so right now we're sitting with we're getting we're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
The minorities, we've been comfortable with being uncomfortable because that to me explains just the existence for whatever we want to do, how we break into our careers, how we live our lives, how we find ourselves going for one first. And that's a lonely road. When you look at, and you talk about this global timeout, everybody had to pay attention to Amy Cooper. Everyone had to pay attention to George Floyd. How is that helping us as a people, as a country, during our global timeout?
I think, well, one, we're not minorities, Carrie. You already know it. It's like these labels that they put on us. It's like the same way of saying like black on black violence. Also, there's no white on white violence. It's branding,
Yeah,
right? It's all branding.
You're right. You're
It's
right.
like white people kill white people every single day. So no, there is no black on black violence. And if you say black on black violence, well then let's brand white on white violence. Like I watch Investigation Discovery. Ain't too many of us being featured. So, I just even like, but to answer your question, what does that do? I think what everyone expected is what has happened in the past when the world was still open, right? In that, okay, you had everyone, from Trayvon Martin to Castillo to Sandra Bland, you had all of these lives lost, and black people made some noise. We rioted, we got out in the streets, we started the Black Lives Matter movement, all of those things. And then white people kind of just like, oh, let's give them something. And then it's just like, is it over? It's like Oscars so black. Okay, okay, good. We gave some Oscars. Are we good now? Like, are we even? And it's now it's just like, oh no, 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 no. This is not about like a band-aid. It's like, yo, we might have to amputate the leg a little bit, but it's all right because we're gonna by amputating the leg, we're gonna save the body. And so I think that's what's happening now. Like America is realizing, like, oh, black people aren't just making a little bit of noise. Like the protests are still out. The conversations are still being had. The change is still being demanded. And I think they're seeing, oh, this is not going away. And no, it's not, because we need systematic change.
What a beautiful way to explore what is happening and describe our country. We might have to amputate the leg, but that's to save the body. That's what's happening right now. That's beautiful, Yvonne. And to that end, I have to ask you this, because the way that we do that, we use our voice. And our voice right now in this world, in this country, is our vote. And everyone talks about voting and how important it is, but I feel like more than ever we understand that it's not just about voting every 4 years for the man in office. It's about your local elections. It's about the mayor. It is about the district attorney, the people who have the power to bring charges against police if police brutality is an issue in your community. If you care about your school district, you can run for the school board. I ask this of you, right? Your parents are from Nigeria. You are Nigerian. You talk about that very lovingly. What does voting mean for you?
I think voting is power. I remember, I became a naturalized citizen back in the '90s, when because I was still a minor. My mom naturalized, and so we were able to do it under her. And just even that power of like, we're American citizens and all the access that we have by being citizens. One of those accesses and those access to power being voting. It's a big deal. It's a big deal because not only do we have the opportunity to be in this country, but now we can be of the country. We can be of the systems. We can be of the rules. We can be of what it actually affords. But I think going back to your earlier comment about just the setup of this, I think we are done a disservice. Either it's schools or whatever it is, and I'm not putting teachers on blast. I think teachers do a phenomenal job, but for some reason we do not, and give them all the reasons. I know too many parents who are like, this child is mine, I just love them, but hey, where can I drop them off? And I do think that there is a disservice done because, again, when we talk about voting, to your point, we talk about every 4 years. It's important to vote for the presidency. We don't realize, like, oh, snap, we actually can vote about, like, how much our libraries get. It's like small things like that, but they make a big difference.
When you think of voter suppression in this country, what does it look like for you?
It's the systems. When we talk about voter suppression, we also talk about systematic racism, right? It's all the systems that set up, and we've normalized. Okay, maybe your job will give you a half day, or maybe you'll be able to get this luxury. It shouldn't be a luxury. It should be built into the system. It should be built into the fabric of how we vote. But maybe you'll be able to get this luxury in order to enable you to go vote. Think about everything disenfranchised, marginalized Black person has to during the day. So in a day, you need to get to work. If something happens to your car, if something happens to your child care, if something happens to, there's so many factors along the way that can send you into a tailspin as an American. And then you add on as a person of color. If you're just trying to get to vote and you already have to go through all of these hurdles and hoops in your everyday life, imagine the one day when your voice really is supposed to matter the most in this country. But then you also see all the times that you tried to have your voice matter and then it's been shut down, repressed, told it doesn't matter. And then you're kind of like, what's the point?
How do we keep hope though? If I'm watching this right now, I want to I how do we as a people stay hopeful? How do we believe in the promise that these quote unquote forefathers have given us?
Because have you met Black people? By default, like hope is infused in our DNA. Like you're like by default, like if we haven't been broken down through, be it through slavery, through
Give
capitalism,
it to me.
through
Give it to me.
colonization, through segregation, through I mean, listen, the history of Black people in this country is at one point we were 3/5 the people. That's it.
At one
That was a written law. And look at us now. We are whole. We are Black girl magic. We are Black boy joy. We are, you know what I'm saying? What I think about in terms of giving us hope, right? We're making a lot of people nervous right now, Carrie. We're making a lot of people
Ben.
nervous right now because they're like, dang, we put all these obstacles in their way, and these jokers are resilient. But that should give us hope. That should give us hope that, like, can't stop, won't stop. I mean, I went to the school of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag, blah, 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 blah. Harlem's taking it right now. Can't stop, won't stop. And I think that's our motto. We can't stop voting and we won't stop voting. We can't stop marching and we won't stop marching. We can't stop thriving and we won't stop thriving.
To that end, because you led me directly there, I've been asking everyone who has appeared on this platform, what does activism look like? And I feel like back in the day, we had an idea. Yes, it is marching. Yes, it is protesting. Yes, it is speaking out against things that we feel are not right or unjust. But talk to me about what activism looks like for Yvonne Orchard.
Listen, activism, I think the beauty of activism is that it has many faces, right? You're going to have the people on the front lines. Like, you know what? Martin Luther King marched, but there were a lot of women who were in the homes like, hey, BT Dubs, when they come back, this is how we support all the people who are marching on the front lines. And we're going to be here doing what we know to do best here. And you know what? Somebody needs to bail them out of jail so now we need to be in the community, getting money or whatever it is. So it's like everybody has a position to play. And so play your position like a shortstop, bro. So whoever you are and whatever you do, play your position. So activism could look like, you know what? I'm not the one that's built to be on the front line, but you know what? My pockets go deep, so I'm gonna support the people on the front line. I'm a comedian. Black joy is a form of activism.
There's always a call for entertainers or celebrities to have the platform to do something. Why aren't you speaking out? I'm not a believer in thinking that it's mandatory. Like you said, everyone can be an activist and be activated in different ways. But talk to me about the connection. Talk to me about the marginalization in your world and how you feel like it even inspires you to say more and use your platform to do more.
Beneath the surface of what we do, like Niecy Nash says, it's the who, right? The who is the person who's going to be like, hey, let me call this out. Either blind racism, in terms of overt racism, in terms of ways that we can be better, in terms of ways that we can actually be more uplifting to the community that we don't even, you may not even realize that you're serving.
Before I let you go, talk to me about the urgency, in your opinion, for people to vote, our people to get out and vote this coming election.
Yeah, I mean, guys, 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 if you think you're tired now, I'm telling you right now, we cannot take this sitting down. We can't take this jokingly. I understand that it may be hard to figure out who to vote for, but at the end of the day, we got to vote for our families. We got to vote for our legacies. We got to vote for continued progress. We have to vote for upward mobility. We have to vote for equality in a way that is long lasting. And if we succeeded before, we can do it again. We talk about the hope. This is the time. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to pretend a way that we haven't made progress. We have. There's still much more to be done. And you know what? We might have to get to a point where we pass the baton to our children and our children's children, but we still have work to do now for that generation.
Barn Orgy, you are everything. You are Molly, but you are not Molly. But I love you so much as Molly on HBO's Insecure. You are an amazing podcaster, Jesus and Jola. Shout out to Lovey. And then we also have movies. Like you in the world, you're a model, a cover model. Also, wait, don't let me forget your hugely successful stand-up comedy special on HBO. Girl, you're doing it all. And I am so grateful. You're truly the dream, not just the American dream. You're the black girl, brown girl, do it all dream, the immigrant dream, everything. You're a beautiful, beautiful soul. I really, really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Yvonne Orgy, ladies and gentlemen, nothing but the best and excellence personified. Thank you so much, my friend.
I love you so much, Mama. Mwah.
Yeah, la la.
So Atlanta has been one of the hotbeds in terms of political unrest and social injustice. We've seen so much happen in that city, and we've also seen so much come from that city, including one of our very own founding fathers of the civil rights movement, and that's Martin Luther King Jr. But right now, we want to welcome in someone who has used this platform to talk about voting, to talk about racial injustice, and how he's trying to help. Atlanta's very own Russ joins us now. Russ, I'm not going to fan out and tell you what some of my favorite songs were that I listened to repeat on yours. We're going to get to the topic at hand. So we got to talk about, recently you did an interview where you shared your outlook on culture and music, and you also were very candid about the fact that you have a privilege and that it's necessary for you to give back. Tell everybody about what that means.
It's very obvious I'm white and I'm in black culture and I'm benefiting financially off of it. So I feel like if you're a white person financially benefiting off of black culture, you have to put finances back into black culture. Just that simple. The screenshots with your feelings, it just comes off like fake empathy because it comes off very dismissive and very oh, that sucks for y'all. But anyway, back to what I was doing.
Have you felt that way always, or is it now because of the time of where we are in this country?
I've always had the feeling. I think now it's just obviously elevated. It's a new level, and there's new, it's to the point now where you can't. First of all, you can't not say anything. Second of all, though, I just think saying something isn't enough anymore. I think, if you have the ability to put money back into a culture that you're financially benefiting from, you have the ability to, you should.
It's interesting that you talk about it in that way because some people do believe that silence is the best way to go because it's hard to talk race, especially if you're white and you're in the black culture. People just feel as if they can't talk about it. They feel awkward. They feel as if they don't have the privilege or the voice or the words. How do you find yourself right now in terms of interacting with people when they want to talk to you about social injustice, police brutality? What's going on in this country right now?
Well, first of all, picking and choosing whether you want to be silent or not about race, that's a privilege in and of itself. But no, I mean, I try to just do my best to listen to the black people around me and the educated black people I have in my life. So I do my best to not act like I have all the answers for everything, especially in a culture that I'm not from. But that's why when we decided to raise the money for Black Lives Matter organizations, when we raised 500,000, we got on the phone with some of the women who started Black Lives Matter. I got on the phone with Tamika Mallory. I was on the phone with Karen Civil and talking with my friends to make sure the money went to like the correct places, and people who really need it. It's just about listening. That's
Well,
all. It's about listening.
let's talk about that for a moment because it's not necessarily just protesting on the front lines. I think that's great. But what about being an activist in the way in which you have decided to be one? What inspired you? What did it look like? You said you raised money for Black Lives Matter. What did you do? Walk us through everything that you did and how you find yourself in this moment right now.
So for me, it was 3 years ago. I had like a string of festivals, and I decided that I was going to wear T-shirts with a message on them because I figured, what better, what better time to use a platform than in front of a bunch of people. So one of the T-shirts I wore was, "If you want to change the system, speak up. White silence is pro-racism." The whole thing. And it didn't really it kind of got swept under the rug back then. But when all this stuff started happening again, and it's been happening, the police brutality against innocent Black people, I was like, man, I'm not the biggest artist in the world, and I certainly don't have the most white fans in the world, but I got a good amount of people that I can definitely mobilize and turn into some money. And I know they're down for the cause because it's merch, it's a good thing. And I've always been outspoken anyway, And so how am I going to be in Black culture and not be outspoken about racism?
And then I got to ask you this because you grew up in Atlanta, so that gives you a heads up, depending for so many people, because you're in the crux of that beautiful Black city where there are so many wonderful Black leaders, home of so much great music and things that speak to our culture right now. And we are really, really getting our word out, especially with this platform today, and saying that we must use our voice to vote. Talk to me about what the importance of voting for you in this upcoming election.
Yeah, so full transparency, I had never voted before, ever. And because I was one of those people who was like, my vote doesn't matter, and I don't know, maybe it's because I was younger, maybe it's because I really thought that, or I don't know, but I just think that it's got to, now this is a bit of a privilege to say it's got to a breaking point for me, because obviously it's been past the breaking point for Black people, but I think that as a whole, the young people need to get out and vote, because we're the ones that never show up. You know what I mean? We never show up to vote, but we're the future. So it's like, look, we got to go out there and vote, and then whatever happens, happens. But at least we did our part. You got to do your part.
You're very candid in saying that you just decided to vote. And I think there's a beautiful irony in the fact that you have your fans saying, because of you, I'm voting. Right. And there's something beautiful about that. But I want to know why now for you. Why in this moment is it important for you to vote? And what hit your spirit to say, yes, this is the time to do it?
Honestly, because I think that George Floyd really woke up a lot of people who, including myself, who I was vocal and outspoken about racism. I put it in my lyrics. I put it on T-shirts. I would talk about it in interviews. I was vocal about it. But that video in that moment, I think me, along with a lot of other people, just kind of was like, all right, words are simply not enough anymore. We gotta do something, whether it's raising money, whether it's voting, or all the above. We got to do something, and I'm ashamed that it took that for me to be like, I need to raise money and I need to vote. It's a shame, and I don't know. I guess it snapped a bunch of people out of it, And even if you were vocal and whatnot, it's time to actually put your money where your mouth is. It's time to go vote. It's time to just stop talking about it and be about it. And it's been time for that, but like I said, I'm ashamed that it took me this long to actually really, really be about it. But I'm here now.
So Russ, we all know that this is going to be your first time voting. Tell me what that experience is going to be like for you in terms of what you're excited about.
I think you know what it's going to do for me. It's going to let me know that I'm contributing to something bigger than myself, and I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm being about it, because for so long, and I know I'm not alone with this, but standing on the outside and just screaming about this and that and this should change and it's like, all right, but did you vote? you know, and so I know it's gonna feel good to know that I played a small role, and that's the problem. I think the mentality of like my vote doesn't matter needs to be changed to my vote, albeit small, does matter. It's a role I'm playing, and if I play my part and you play your part and he and she plays their part, then we make a difference. But it'll feel. I have a feeling it's gonna it's gonna feel very, very bigger than me. And I think when you realize that giving uh, actually feels better than receiving, that's when you start wanting to do your part and contribute. So voting is an easy way to give. You know.
Yeah. To whom much is given, much is required, and you have been given a huge platform, and we are so grateful for you, Russ. Philanthropist, artist, community activist, first time voter. We appreciate you for doing
Yes.
this, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, la la.
So, cities like Atlanta and Chicago have been at the forefront of the discussions, especially now in this country when we're talking about COVID 19 and systemic racism as well as police.
Bueno chicos, perdón, pero hasta acá